She smiled into the camera the way influencers are taught to do. Soft eyes, steady voice, controlled calm. But the caption beneath the video told a different story. If anything happens to me, this is why. It was posted at 11:47 p.m., sandwiched between makeup tutorials and motivational quotes. Most people scrolled past it without stopping. By morning, it would be everywhere. Her name was Alana Brooks, 26 years old, a lifestyle content creator whose page had grown quickly over the past year. She shared thrifted outfits, simple meals, and short talks about healing after heartbreak. Nothing about her online presence suggested danger. But in that final upload, something had shifted. The lighting was normal, the room tidy. Yet there was a tightness in her jaw, a pause before each sentence, like she was choosing every word carefully. Alana didn't cry. She didn't raise her voice. She simply said she was scared. She explained that for months she had felt watched, followed on errands, questioned about who she spoke to, accused of things that made no sense. She never used names, but she described patterns. The constant calls, the sudden apologies after outbursts, the promises that things would change. "I don't want sympathy," she said. "I just want this on record." The comments were split almost instantly. Some people begged her to go to the police. Others accused her of clout chasing. A few wrote that posting a video like this was dangerous, that it could make things worse. Alana liked none of the comments. She logged off. The next morning, she didn't post her usual sunrise photo. By the afternoon, messages began to pile up. Friends texted. Her sister called repeatedly. When no one heard back by evening, concern turned into fear. Alana lived alone in a small apartment on the third floor of a quiet building. The landlord unlocked the door for police just after 9 p.m. What they found confirmed what many had already begun to suspect. Alana was dead. The official cause would later be listed as homicide, though details were initially withheld. News outlets moved quickly, replaying her final video again and again, freezing on the moment she took a breath and said, "If anything happens to me," view count skyrocketed. Her page doubled in followers overnight. Online, the tone changed. The same people who had doubted her now wrote apologies in all caps. "We should have listened," she warned US. This could have been prevented. Strangers stitched her video with tearful reactions. Hashtags formed around her name. For a few days, it felt like the entire internet was mourning someone they'd never met. Behind the scenes, investigators worked through a different reality. One without trending audio or neatly edited timelines. They discovered that Alana had reached out for help more than once. Not publicly, but privately. She had told friends she felt trapped in a cycle she couldn't escape. She had considered filing reports, but worried about retaliation. She kept screenshots, voice notes, and a private journal on her phone. In it, she wrote about loving someone who frightened her, about confusing apologies with change, about hoping that staying quiet would keep the peace. The person at the center of those entries was someone she had once trusted deeply. As details emerged, the final video took on a heavier meaning. It wasn't a performance. It wasn't vague on accident. It was careful, intentional, almost legal in tone, as if she was preserving her own testimony. She hadn't said everything she knew. She'd said enough. Friends later said Alana had gone back and forth for days about posting it. She worried it would make her look dramatic. She worried it would provoke anger. But she also worried that if she stayed silent, no one would ever understand what had been happening behind closed doors. So she pressed upload. The investigation moved slowly, methodically. Digital records were examined, timelines reconstructed. Eventually, an arrest was made. The headline was blunt and final, but it didn't bring the relief people expected. There were no dramatic courtroom scenes yet, no neat ending. Just a name, a charge, and a long legal road ahead. As weeks passed, attention drifted. New stories replaced hers. Algorithms moved on. But Alana's last video stayed pinned at the top of her page, exactly where she had left it. Comments continued to trickle in. Some from people who said they recognized themselves in her words. Others from survivors, who wrote that the video gave them the courage to leave. Her sister took control of the account eventually. In a short post, she thanked people for their support remember Alana as more than her final moments. She was funny, she wrote. She loved late-night drives and singing off-key. She believed people could change. That belief, some would say, was part of what put her in danger. But those closest to her rejected that framing. They said Alana wasn't naive. She was hopeful. She wanted peace, not conflict. She wanted to believe that love didn't have to come with fear. And when she realized that hope alone wouldn't save her, she did the one thing she could think of. She told the truth. The haunting part wasn't just that her warning came true. It was how familiar the story felt to so many people watching. The comments under her video became a quiet archive of shared experiences. I could have posted this. I almost did. I'm still there. Alana's last upload didn't stop what happened to her, but it changed what happened after. It documented a reality that is often dismissed until it's too late. It forced strangers to confront how easily warnings are ignored when they're inconvenient, uncomfortable, or delivered without spectacle. In the end, her voice outlived her silence. If anything happens to me, she had said, steady and clear, please know I tried to be honest. And the truth, once posted, could not be taken down.